So here you can enter the client name. Let us write our institute name. Job number, let us say it is 01. You can enter anyone. Revision, it is R0. You can add all this detail. Who is the engineer? Let us say you can, who is checking. So whenever any professional design is done, then it is design. There is a designer who design it. Then there is a senior who checks it, and finally there is a one engineer who approves the check. So it is a three-stage uh, design process. You can enter the date here. So it is just an information. Uh, to demonstrate you how to analyze in StatPro. Now here we can create nodes by entering its node number, its geometry, and here we can create beams. So, so in our example, let us consider this point A at 0, 0. This is point C is at 4 meter. So we have to create a node here, and a node here. Okay, node means joint. So let us create a joint here, 0, 0, 0. So second point will be at 4, 0, 0, because in x direction it is 4 meter, and at y and z it is 0, 0. So 4, 0, 0. Then the third node is 4 plus 0.5 plus 1.5, that is 6 meter. So B point is at 6 meter. So 6. You can set the view as front view. So this is the front view. Now you can see the 3 points. Okay. If you press Shift K, Shift N, it will show you the node number. So this is node number 1, which is A in our problem. This is A. Node number 2 is point C in this example, and point C, this point P is node number 3. Okay. So we have created the joints. Now we have to create the beam. So you can enter node A, means the left end of the beam is joint 1, right end of the joint is B. So you can enter 1 and 2 here. Okay, that is one way. If you enter 1 and join 2, then the beam. Okay, but we will it in a different. So here EI is constant, and this member A is connecting, AC is connected by joint 1 and joint 2. So here you go to geometry, add beam, or simply click this add beam from this to this. So you can see it is created. Add beam from this. Because we have first deleted the beam, so it is marked, it is numbered as 2 and 3. If you press Shift B, it will show you the beam number, beam 2 and beam 3. So now we can do the renumbering also. We can make this 1 and this as 2 also. So One way is to you can go to command file. It will be a notepad file. So whatever things you have mentioned, it will be converted into a text file. See, in the start of the job, you have set job client as GCPL, job number as 1, division R0, and comment it was demo, engineer name and date you have mentioned. So this is joint number 1, its x coordinate is 0, y coordinate 0, z coordinate 0. Joint number 2, x coordinate 4, y coordinate 0, z coordinate 0. Joint number 3, x coordinate 6, y coordinate 0, and z coordinate 0. Okay, then beam number 2 is connecting joint 1 and joint 2. Okay, then beam number 3 connecting joint 2 and joint 3. So simply change here this as 1 and this as 2. It will automatically change the number. So now you can see it is 1 and 2. Okay, and you can
presentation नहीं देखा था.
yes,
तो presentation नहीं देखा. Screen present नहीं.
okay, okay. Okay, so press shift K to show you the nodes. Okay, this is node 1, node 2, node 3. There is one more way you can renumber the members. Actually, this is newer version of StatPro, so its tabs are changed. See here, you can change the renumber. You can change the node number, and if you select the beams, you can renumber the beams also here. Please renumber the beams. So you can specify which coordinate to be in ascending order or descending order. So you can do the renumbering in that way also. Okay. Say for example, you want to set, for that let us change the number again, or simply let us change this renumber, yes, and suppose you want to start it from 10. Your x coordinate is marked first in ascending order, accept. Okay, so it will be 10 and 11. Okay, that way you can also do the renumbering, or you can go to editor file and change there. It will be reflected here. So there's no change now. Now next is the support. Here we have fixed support, and here we have roller support. So go to specifications, and we have a fixed support, so add a fixed support. Then we have a roller support, so for that we have to define. So create a custom, okay, and in that we have roller support. It is this fx is released, fy is restrained, fz is restrained, moments are released. even let us re- release FZ also. So all these are released. Means it will only offer vertical reaction. It will roller can translate in x direction. So we are releasing the support. Okay. That means suppose you have a roller support. So roller support will allow will roll in x direction. It will allow the moment about z direction. It will only provide reaction in y direction. So we are setting all these as release. So they are released. So it can release means it is free to move in x direction. It is free to move in z direction, and it is free to rotate about x axis, rotate about y axis, and rotate about z axis. Only it will provide reaction in y direction. Okay. So add this. Now we have to assign this to support. So let us select this node and select assign to selected node and click assign. So it will create a fixed support here. Similarly, we have a fixed support here. Assign to selected node. It will create here. Otherwise, you can do other way also. You can type the node number here. Say for example, this joint, we have to provide this support at joint 2. So you click joint 2 here and select assign to edit list and click assign. So it will create a support here. We know the joint number. You type the joint number here, it will create. Yes. So now we have created the supports. Next, we have to provide the material also. So click prismatic section, and since EI is constant for both the section, let us select a rectangular section and number material as steel. The section this YD means its depth and ZD means depth width. So we are selecting a rectangular section. You can select circular section, any section based on your size beam. If your beam is rectangular, you select beam rectangular. If your suppose you are designing a column vertical, and if it is circular, you select the circular. So, but in this case, EI is constant. So you give any value, it will not make any difference. So let us select 0.1 and 0.1. Click add, and EI is constant for entire section. So let us assign it to view. Whatever the members are there, all members will be assigned to this. Click assign. So it will be assigned to all the members. Okay. Then we have to apply the load. But before that, let us see our beam. If you click the render view, it will show you the beam. So we have given 0.1 by 0.1 section. So this is the render view of the beam. Now let us apply the loading. Now here we have a load of UDL of 15 kilonewton per meter and a point load of 80 kilonewton on this segment, which is at distance 0.5. So in load case, add load case 1, let us say you can set it as load case 1 only and close. So in load case 1, add. Now first is we have to go to member load. Now this is UDL, so uniform force. Uniform force means it is a UDL. It is UDL, and the intensity of UDL is 15 kilonewton per meter, and it is acting in downward direction. So we have to enter minus 15 here, because global Y, this is global Y. Global Y is in upward direction. Okay. So we have to enter it here minus 15, because we have to apply load in downward direction. So minus 15, and it is to be applied throughout the member, 1. This member AC. This UDL is applied on entire member AC. So this UDL is applied on member AC, entire length of the member AC. If it is part length, suppose it starts from 1 meter to this point C, then you can specify the distance here. Let us say it starts from 1 meter, so D1 value will be 1 and D2 value will be, if you set it 0, it will go throughout. Okay. So here in this case, it is to be applied on the entire length of the member. So simply click simply add it. It is been added here, but you can see it is a question mark. Means it has been added, but it is not applied. It is not assigned to the member. So we will assign it later on. Then click concentrated force. We have to apply the point load also. Okay, on member CB. Okay, on member CB we have to apply the point load 80 kilonewton. So again it is acting in downward direction. So minus 80. You can select the direction of the load. If your load is in horizontal direction, select GX. Okay, if the load is in Z direction, click global Z. GZ means global Z, GY means global Y, and GX means global X. Now the distance of the point load is from point C, it is at a distance of 0.5 meter. Okay, it is at 0.5 meter. So right here 0.5 meter. Okay, so this distance will be 0.5 from the Jth node. This is J node and this is K node. Click add, close. Now we have to assign this. So select the member and assign to selected member. So this load is applied here. Similarly, select this member and assign to selected member. It has been applied here. Now you can see it is going out of the display. So you can select the scale of the loading also. So set display option. You can go to so in this diagram, in this you specify the load value. So it will specify the load value. You go to scales, and here we have applied a UDL intensity is this. You can specify this as 20, this as 25, and click apply. Still the point force is too big, so let us 50. Now it is visible. 25 and let us see 25. Now you can see there is a UDL of 15 kilonewton per meter and a point load of 80 kilonewton applied on this member. Okay, so we have applied the load. Next, go to analysis and give an analysis command, add, close, and then we run the analysis. Before that, it asks for save. There is no error, no warning, so your analysis is okay. Now we go to post processing and we'll find the support reactions. So if you click here F5, it will show you the shear force diagram. Now to view the values, annotate, show beam result, and shear at the ends, annotate, close. So the shear value is 29.687. So this is your shear force diagram. Okay, it is 29.6875. 29.67. Here we have set the precision to 3 digit. You can increase this precision to whatever you wish. You can have result up to 5 digit. It will show you 5 digit precision. Then here it is minus 30.31, 30.313, 30.3125. That means 30.313 only. Here it is 66.25. It is 66.254. Then it is 13.75 here, 13.75746 here. Okay, so results are matching with our manual calculation. Suppose you want to check the bending moment, click MZ. So it will show you the bending moment. Now here you can increase the scale, click annotation, beam results, bending moment at the ends, and okay, close. So at support it is 19.583. It is 19.583. Okay. Then it is 20.836 here, 20.838 here, 8.327, 8.333. Okay. Now we are drawing uh, the we have considered sagging as positive. Here the software has another hogging as positive. So the diagram is reverse. Otherwise values are same. It is based on our assumption. If you while drawing this shear force diagram, if you consider hogging as positive, then this will be in upward side, this will be in downward side. So that is to you. Okay, so this way you can find you can solve the beam. Okay, so let us save this. You can take a snapshot of this and uh, and paste it after your manual result, that both the results are verified. And in the next lab we'll take one more example in which how to find the deflection. We will see deflections and slope. While for slopes and deflection, the EI value, the cross section property matters. So we have to provide this EI value exactly the same as in the given problem. Say for example CFT example we are taking. Suppose we want to find the slope, this deflection at point P, then we have to enter EI value as this, exactly as this. Then only will the result will match, because the deflection and slope are dependent on flexural rigidity of the member. So we have to enter this value correctly. Okay. So then only you will get the exact value matching with the manual calculation. That we'll see in the next lab. So meanwhile, you just take few more examples and try to solve it. We have a computer lab in which the software is already installed. You can practice there also, or you can practice at home also. Now, I will show you some of the examples which your seniors have solved. See, this is CFT. These are the results. You can also view the results in tabular form. This is showing the deflection. This is the deflected shape for this beam, and the deflection values. This is the y deflection in y direction, that is in downward direction, minus 3.626. This is for the load case 1. For at node number 3, the deflection is minus 2.083. Similarly, you get the slope also, slope at A and slope at B here. So these are the values of the slope. This is the deflection of a cantilever. Okay. I think this is the first example of Castigliono's first theorem. It's slightly different. First example of assignment, I think. This is the first example of your assignment. So these are the results. So you calculate manually and then solve it in software and verify your result. This is the example of the frame. This is the deflected shape. Okay, this is the y deflection and this is x deflection in x direction. So in deflection in x direction at node 4 is 70.517. Then the y deflection at this point 4 is minus 76.995 mm. Okay, so downward deflection is minus 76.95995 and horizontal deflection is 70.517. This is x, this delta x, this is delta y. Then the slope, suppose you have been asked to find the slope, so the slope at point 4 is minus 0.027. This is in radian. Okay. So you solve these examples given in your assignment, and if you find any difficulty, we will discuss in the next lab.